I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're gonna be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low.
Hey! How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's your favorite ex train wreck here. You might know me from TikTok, you might just know me from YouTube, but today is another one of those videos where I may have started some drama on TikTok and I need to vent for longer than TikTok allows. If you do watch TikTok and you tend to watch Korea-based content on that, you may or may not have seen either my video or countless other content creators reacting to this.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're gonna be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low. As some of you guys already know, Korea has very specific beauty standards, and that being said, no matter if you're a foreigner or not, you have to fit into beauty standards if you want to be called pretty. Which means you have to fit in the same beauty standard that works for Korean people. So regardless of your races, your skin color, you have to be pale, you have to be skinny, you have to have a high nose bridge, and etc. So girls that look like her are the ones that are considered pretty in Korea. Here's another example of a foreign girl that will be considered super pretty in Korea. So as you can see, 90% of the time they're all white. So if you're looking like those two girls, congratulations, you are pretty in Korea. However, one thing I want you guys to understand is that most majority of Korean guys still don't see foreign girls seriously, which I'm gonna make another video about. So don't get taken advantage of, please.
Yeah, so let's talk about it because a lot has happened. First impressions, when I saw the video, I was like, who asked you? It's one thing to speak on your experience as a Korean person. If you don't know, this creator at length has talked about how in Korea she was not considered beautiful because of her darker skin and she was plus size. So she internalized a lot of those things being said to her in Korea, and then as a teenager she moved to America, and that's when for the first time ever, people were calling her beautiful.
Nothing feels more weird than being told ugly your entire life and one day you just become a pretty person, because that's what happened to me.
I've made a video about this before and I've made countless of TikToks because I also get asked this question a lot, whether or not I'm considered attractive in Korea, are people of color considered attractive in Korea, and my thing has always been, if you are attractive in your home country, you're most likely going to be attractive all over the world, regardless if it's Korea, Japan, China, India, wherever, okay? If you're hot, you are hot, objectively. So according to her, there would be like a low chance because of your skin color that you would be called attractive or people would find you attractive. And for me, I'm just like, wait a minute, like, I have so many friends who are people of color who are in long committed relationships. One of my friends is about to have a baby with her Korean husband and she's black. So you're saying that there's a low chance that her husband finds her attractive, or like he would find a white girl more attractive. Like, that's insane. It's an insane thing to say. And for me, especially for a Korean person who has not lived in Korea for a very long time, to say this felt very out of touch. So I made a video. It's very hypocritical to build your whole entire platform on how you grew up being called ugly in Korea and how that affected you, just to then make a video saying that foreign women are not attractive in Korea unless they look Russian. You gave two examples of what you had to look like as a foreigner to be considered attractive. The things that you talk about were true 10 to 15 years ago. And it's interesting that you're choosing to not engage with and ignore foreign women in your comments telling you that that is not true at all. Sometimes a foreigner is going to know more about life in Korea than you, who has not lived in Korea for many, many years. It's actually also interesting to me that you refuse to delete and block the person who tagged me in your video and used your words to call me ugly. Most foreign women in Korea do not care or think about the Korean beauty standard. However, people love to weaponize it against us. And the only comments that you do engage with are the ones that are agreeing with you or being rude to one of my friends who called you out, who is Korean herself, and is telling you that you are wrong. You always talk about how you were made to feel ugly in Korea and how in America everyone calls you beautiful. You are not the American beauty standard, yet you can be considered beautiful, because you see how two things can be true at once? Your boyfriend is literally Croatian, one of the whitest countries there is, You do not fit the Croatian beauty standard, yet he finds you attractive. Why does that rule only apply to you? I just don't appreciate someone speaking for me, claiming to know more about my experience. And, you know, I did kind of rip her a new one. Lovingly, of course. Actually, let's back up, because the way that I saw the video in the first place was someone tagged me, okay? There's a subset of people that just like to humble people of color. Like I said, I've spoken about beauty standards in Korea a few times, and this person in particular wanted to use that video to prove to me that I in fact am not attractive to Koreans. I don't care, okay? I don't actively think about the Korean beauty standards, but when it's brought up to me, like when I'm literally tagged in a video that's telling me that I'm not attractive, obviously I'm gonna be like, hello, like what, leave me alone. So that's what actually started it all off. Some brazen person wanted to humble me. At that time, the comments were kind of 50-50, and you can imagine who the people were, or what color they were, where they were agreeing, saying, yes, like Koreans only like light skin. And it's like, there's people in the comments saying like, hey, I'm a foreigner living in Korea, I'm a person of color, and this is not true. Like, I've been called pretty like as soon as I touched down. And at first I posted it on my private story to kind of get like a feel, okay, from like the inner, the council that I call my friends, okay? And everyone is just like, oh my God, like, why would she say that? That's insane. And then one of my friends even went as far to say that, oh, I've had a experience with her where she shared something in a different video that was outdated. I tried to like tell her like, hey, this used to be like that, but it's not like that anymore. And she came at him hard saying, I'm Korean, therefore I know more about my own country. Mind you, my friend is a foreigner living in Korea. She has not lived in Korea for years. And the thing about Korea is, even back when I first came, I've noticed so many different changes. Like, Korea changes so rapidly. If you leave for a year, you'll come back and you'll be like, whoa, what's going on? So I already knew like, oh, okay, so that's kind of her mindset. She thinks that because she's Korean, she has more authority than someone speaking on their very own experience, their lived experience. And then on top of that, one of my Korean content creator friends comments on the video, and she rightfully points out that what she was saying was a white supremacist talking point to suggest that it doesn't matter what you look like, as long as you are white, Koreans will find you attractive over you being darker. That's a white supremacist ideal, okay? Came at my friend very rudely. So I'm like, okay, you've been rude to two of my friends now, so I'm gonna make my response. One of my friends in Korea posted her video, and I posted mine like the same day, coincidentally, because we both saw the video and we were like, what? And then like a bunch of other people. And I'm so glad that everyone like jumped in and was like, hey, this is wrong and this is my experience. So I'm glad that we are able to come together as a community and drown out this misinformation. She then proceeds to write me this long message. I actually was very surprised given what I previously knew about her and how she usually reacts to criticism. And I said like, hey, you know, I appreciate, I don't remember what exactly I said, but I did say like, hey, I can send you some resources so you can educate yourself, because what you said was not okay. And now pause, because a lot of people did say like, oh, why do we care what Korean men think? Korean men? We weren't talking about Korean men. That's what like annoys me so much. And like, it's never been about Korean men, okay? At the end of the day, foreign women, unless they themselves have placed the Korean beauty standards upon themselves, foreigners do not feel any type of way about this, okay? But when you drag us into the conversation, we are going to defend ourselves. Like, what? Like, you're literally talking down at us. Like, when you look at it from a historical viewpoint, okay? There have been cartoons, movies, so many medias where specifically black women have been made fun of their looks, have been told that they are masculine, that they are too dark, too this, too that, right? It's just a small example of just the whole issue. In America, there used to be laws on how black women were allowed to have their hair. So they're not slaves anymore. They're free people, but there are laws governing the way that their hair is. And the way that I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but the Tignon, that law, black women used to walk around with these like elaborate hairdos, feathers and jewels and just very ostentatious looking hair. White people, specifically white women back in that time, were like, oh, I don't like that they're like looking like that. I feel uncomfortable. I don't like that they're getting all this attention. So you know what they did? They made a law saying that black women were not allowed to have their hair out. They had to tie up their hair instead into a tignon. They had to wrap their hair basically. You know what then became popular amongst white women? Feathers. Feathers in their hair. This is just a small example, but this spans for years, okay? So given even just this small teeny weeny little context, why go out of your way and make a video saying, oh yeah, you know, people of color. No, actually, it wasn't even like that. It was, I'm sorry to break it to you. What are you breaking to me, babe? What? Like, the way that it was even just delivered was giving, I want to humble you. I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're not white in Korea, you're not attractive. And a lot of people want to say, well, like at the end of her video, she did say that she doesn't agree with it. Doesn't matter. Why? So you're saying that everyone else in Korea thinks you're ugly, but I don't. I'm different, okay? But in my video, I did say, like, you are not the American beauty standard, yet people can appreciate that you're pretty. Her boyfriend is Croatian, Eastern European. She's not the Eastern European beauty standard, yet her boyfriend, who is Eastern European, can appreciate that she is pretty outside of those parameters, okay? And that's another thing. I have so much to talk about. Thank God I have, like, YouTube to vent on, okay? The Korean people are not robots. Humans are not robots, okay? Just because someone doesn't fit one criteria, there are multiple criterias, right? For the beauty standard, okay? White skin is one, being skinny is one, having big eyes is one, having double eyelids is one, having a tall nose bridge is one, plump lips is one, having overall facial harmony is one, having a V-line looking like an upside down egg is one. And for argument's sake, I'm just gonna use me for an example, okay? Because again, I was dragged into this, okay? I don't fit the skin color one. Last time I checked, I have double eyelids. Last time I checked, I have plump lips. Last time I checked, I have the V, you know what I mean? Like, I check off a lot of other parts of this Korean beauty standard. No one is gonna be like, oh, well, she's not white, therefore she's not pretty. She doesn't have light skin, therefore she's not pretty. But she has facial harmony, but I can't see past the skin color. People don't act like that. You know what I mean? This point is just about personal preference, okay? There is always going to be people where it's like, no, white is right and that's it. And there's another thing, okay? There's a difference between Koreans wanting to be pale and wanting to be white. There's this whole thing where like, oh, they want to be Eurocentric, they get plastic surgery to look like white people. Babe, no. They've been wanting to be pale before they knew what white people were. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of a class thing. So after I tell her, like, hey, I can send you some stuff to educate yourself, I pause and I'm like, before I put in all this labor, let me check if she is actually feeling bad. And like, usually when you feel bad about a racist video that you posted, you delete it, no? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till she deletes it. It's still up. It's still up. You know what I do? I go into her reposts. If you don't know, on TikTok, unless you toggle it as private, whenever you repost something, you can like a video and you can repost a video. I go into her reposts and I start scrolling. And a lot of things are making sense now. Okay. Okay, quick freeze frame for context. So shortly after messaging me all those messages, she actually made a public apology video. And I would love to show you what she said in the apology video, but she deleted it like 2 days later. But while the video was still live, she was deleting absolutely everyone's comments that were not in support of her. And in fact, the only comments that were available under that video were comments telling her that you shouldn't have apologized, you were right. Does that sound like someone who's actually remorseful? Mind you, the original racist offending video is still up the whole entire time. But to paraphrase what she said in the apology was that she was acknowledging and apologizing for what she said. She acknowledged that her views on Korea was extremely outdated. She acknowledged that she has not come to Korea in a long time and a lot of things have changed, and that she was completely wrong. Objectively wrong in what she said. She acknowledged that. But then she's literally in the comments going comment by comment, deleting absolutely anyone who's not telling her that she was actually right and that she shouldn't be apologizing. And before she deleted the video, a lot of people were saying that the apology just didn't sound real. It didn't feel genuine. And you know, apologies that get deleted like 2 days later tend to not be genuine. So people clocked it way before she deleted it. So no surprises there. At the same time, I'm getting messages from my followers telling me like, hey, she deleted my comment lightly criticizing her. Friends are telling me like, yeah, she deleted my comment. And I'm like, okay, now everything's coming together, right? If you look at the apology video and the comments, 99% of the comments are like, you shouldn't be apologizing, you did nothing wrong, you were right. And at the time, I remember thinking like, ooh, must be her algorithm. But now I'm being told that she's deleting the comments telling her like, yeah, you were wrong. Okay. Mind you, she's also blocking people. I'm also starting to get messages from people saying like, yeah, she also blocked me because I looked at her reposts as well and I called her out for supporting the people that she does. So now I'm just like, so you're an undercover Trump supporter? Like, what is going on? A really good way to figure out if someone is manipulating comments or like how a video is being taken is if you look at the likes, the amount of likes and the amount of views. For example, my video right now, I believe has around 180,000 views and about like 17,000 likes. Makes sense. Her video, 240-ish thousand views, 6,000 likes. When someone agrees and likes your video, they like it. Why do you have more views than me, but a third of the likes? It's all coming together. Deleting the comments, only keeping up the comments that are agreeing with her, but not a lot of people are agreeing with her, and that's the thing. So to me, that shows there's no remorse, there's no willingness to learn. Unfortunately, that demographic who does follow Trump is known for not wanting to learn and not change their mindset. So why am I gonna do all this and send her links and articles and all of that? She's not gonna look at it. To be perfectly honest, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do it. Like I said, I'm so glad that this has started a discussion. And I just think, instead of speaking over us, listen to us. Like I said, Koreans and anyone, they have eyes. If you are attractive, you're attractive everywhere. It's not lost on me that there's certain people who, the ones that get really angry about the subject are the ones that would be profiting from putting down people of color. I'll just leave it at that. I think that's the end of this rant. To reiterate once again, We don't care. We do not care about the Korean beauty standard. However, if you are going to go out of your way to say that we are undesirable, yada, 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 of course we're gonna defend ourselves, and of course we're gonna tell you you're wrong. Like, we're not, the whole premise around, like, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much to make a video or make a comment about it? You know what I mean? Like, stay out of it, you know? But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.